want you to stop saying that he is Haitian.
He is. Kodak Black is Haitian. He had a flag on in the Twitch.
Do you think that Kamala lost because Cardi B? Who you need to be
Put
from
the
now
skirt
on?
back on.
Put the skirt back on. I'm so dead.
I know you are. That's why I said it.
Like, layer the skirt with some pants. Every time we see you, you need to have that shit on. It needs.
I'm sorry, bro. If you came to my house and cried at my door when you got traded from the team, you cannot then go on my ops video and then call me a pal. You can't do that. We're not going to be cool anymore. That's like nobody was showing us enough time. Like they tried to show him running and stuff.
It's because we saw him.
Did he fall when he was running one time?
Yes. But it's because like
your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your podcast is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
All right, man. We got to get to this conundrum here that we've been having here in this household about jeans. Jeans, oh my goodness, they pile up so much.
The amount of laundry that I have to do on a regular basis now with
I hate the way you phrase that.
Being married.
I hate the way you phrase that.
Versus
we do it together.
We do it together.
You put it in the wash machine and then I fold them.
It's still just an alarming amount. Like I be opening the closet in the bathroom and then I see the hamper and it stresses me out to my core. So, overflowing as soon as I'm done doing laundry.
I don't think that is that excessive.
It is.
And I think that you're kind of like blowing it out of proportion in the highest order. Because again, this is a team effort.
How often do you guys wear jeans before you wash them?
I think normal.
Maybe I'm the one that's not normal.
I think normal people, if they do, like with me, if I wear my jeans and I go out and I'm doing stuff, I'm going to put them in the hamper. I'm not just going to say, oh, let me just rock them another day.
Them jeans got 2-3 wears out of me.
No,
before
man. You gotta. That's not how you.
Before I wash them, I'm hanging them bitches
outside?
Right back up.
Like you outside.
Where else would I wear jeans if I'm not outside?
You might walking around, maybe to the house, maybe just go to the park or something. Like you. I'm talking about you making moves outside. You touching different areas, and you think that that's okay to just rock the jeans a double.
I don't know. In my brain, because it's thicker, it can go longer without being washed.
That's not how that works at all.
Yeah. Same honestly, goes for like thick sweaters in the wintertime.
Honestly, I would think you're a girl, so you don't like sweat as much like somebody like me would. But like I'm sweating too all day. So
yeah, that makes
the jeans
sense,
are getting kind of like, you know what I'm saying, damp. They can't just
not damp.
Damp is a bad word.
I just don't like thinking about
people don't like
bottom
moist.
Half being damp.
Moist.
That's even worse.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
But no, again, y'all can tell us in the comments what y'all think, but I think that it's just
every time we do laundry, it's 17 pairs of his jeans in the goddamn hamper.
I don't even own 17 pairs of jeans. That's the crazy part. That's the nutso part. It just is.
At least.
And okay, so in regards to just jeans material in itself, that denim needs to go through that machine. Like you can't just sit there and let it collect the dust from outside, people's germs and bacteria. Like you should do that with that kind of material. Any kind of material, cotton, all the stuff that we wear.
I guess I said I might be the not normal one, but in my brain,
at least hit them with the spray.
What spray?
Like, let's smell good spray. Make sure at least
they
smell
don't
good.
smell bad.
Okay, I'm just saying you outside. The jeans gonna rack up.
The jeans smell like what they smelled like before I put them on. After I take them off.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do a test of that.
Go smell my jeans right now. But you know what? They hanging up and they not in the hamper, even though I wore them a couple days ago.
See, we're gonna have to do the science, man. We're gonna have to do the science. But no, we got to get the people in order because some people are down now. They're not in the place that they need to be. Things they. All right, and we're back.
Technical difficulties.
All right, so let's get into some music. Hopefully this will galvanize the people. You know, something Miss Kamala couldn't do, but.
Bigot. Ingrate. Sycophant. Worm. So small I could smite you with a step. There was a time I would smite you all for what was done to Storm.
Wake it up.
But today, I have saved you from your own. For an old friend has challenged me to remember this view of Earth. How vast it is versus how small we make it. Charles Xavier entrusted me with his dream, and it does not ask you to love or embrace my kind as your own, but merely to accept that this is a shared world with a common future, and that my kind, like yours, have the right to live in it. I am trying to be better. Please, do not make me let you down.
Are you tired of paying a lot of money for your vacation? My name is Shirley Proctor, and I am a partner with Tavodian, a traveling membership group. I can help you save time, money, help you and your loved ones see the world.
Hey man, I love that song so much. Like as an 18, 19-year-old driving up and down with my partner.
I've never heard that song before.
Oh
now.
man, that was the jam of my like early youth. Cause like that was when we was just plotting, trying to like just figure out life. And that song just spoke to us in a different realm, man. So shout out to my nigga Lorenzo. That's who we used to bum. I'm talking about the song multiple times. It wasn't even like we just listened to this one and then went to another song. It was looped. All right, thank y'all for listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Absurd Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and gorgeous co-host, Miss Reality.
What's that?
As you guys can see, that normally she has a more gleeful persona, but unfortunately,
there's no glee.
In light of recent events, the glee has
no
left
spirit
us.
fingers. There's no spirit left in my body.
So let's just jump right into it. You know, this is our first episode after the election. You know, if you've been keeping up with us, we've been doing, I think, a decent amount of coverage on it. We had a couple episodes where we just threw it to the side just because, but the night is here. It has come, and United States of America has voted Donald Trump as their president in a landslide victory. I mean,
yeah, it was.
It wasn't like
sweeping.
it wasn't like he just got the electoral like he has in the past and won. Like he got the popular vote.
It was
And-
overwhelming.
And then the Senate, they were literally red, clean house. Like that's exactly what we just saw. And again, you know, normally you see these things happen,
It was
especially
a red sweep.
Yeah, normally when you see the red wave come through, especially,
it's okay. You can like, because that always happens.
Yeah, I mean it happens. It's just a cycle in regards.
And
to
that's
the
what I
periods.
thought was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be what they call it, the red mirage, and then the blue shift.
Mm-hmm. And then you also had like the blue wall and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was a lot of expressions that just didn't fall through.
The blue did not shift.
But I think regarding people's analysis of, I think the good place to start. Jesus Christ.
Wow. It's just, I'm a mess this episode.
You can just see she's rattled, man. My baby is rattled. But no, just to go over just what I think a lot of people analysis of it. You know, you see the demographics come out, who voted for who, the pointing the fingers began. But to me, I think if you just step back and just look at the sheer number of people who voted and subtract from last time in the last election and to now, I think you see more of a fact that kind of a point that I called out a few weeks ago was they were not galvanized to vote for her.
Yeah, the voter turnout we're waiting for like the actual numbers, but like there have been talkings that the Democratic voters did not come out to vote as much as they did in the 2020 election.
Because if you look at just the numbers from what we had from the last time, Biden had close to 90 million votes, and Kamala barely got to 70. Like she's not even at 70 million votes. I think she's like around like 65, 62 as they're still counting. And you just do the math from that, it's literally somewhere between 14 to 15 million people who they didn't come out at all to vote. They didn't vote for Trump or her. And if you look at his numbers are pretty much on pace what he did with Biden. So it wasn't even like he got more votes.
Yeah.
He actually got less votes as of right now. than he did last time. So again, it's just her base didn't come out and they didn't feel galvanized. Like people didn't switch. And I think that's what people keep trying to act like when you see this win. It's like, oh, America is taking a shift. And it's like, no, the Americans who would have made a difference didn't come out for her. And she just, her personality. It's just what it is. Like the time that she had, she did not have a lot of time.
Yeah.
She didn't have a very transformative moment where she became more than a politician for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then overall, her agendas are just pacifist. If you look at it, they're not anything radically left. It's everything of what I said prior. The Democrats are right center and MAGA is right. So it's understandable that if somebody is teeter-tottering and somebody is standing on something, people are just going to look to the person who's standing on something. But again, that's not even what happened.
I was going to say, that's not even what happened.
People just didn't want to come out.
Less people who voted for Trump voted for him this time. So he had less supporters in his platform and everything in the rhetoric that he was spewing again. It's just really unfortunate to see that he just didn't have the correct person to run against. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
people didn't like Kamala.
Yeah, and the Democrats can only blame themselves. This is their fault for their poor planning. Like I said, if you go back to the 60-minute interview that took place last November, you see her saying, hey, I am ready to run aside Joe Biden. That was the game plan going into 2024. And for y'all to then jump out, because we know we've talked about this, we don't believe Biden wanted to leave the race at all. And especially didn't want to leave it to have to give it to her. And because of that, because of his recklessness in regards to knowing, hey, the people around you don't trust that you're going to keep it up.
And the American people don't trust that you're even fit to continue doing this job for 4 more years.
Yeah, even if
we think you about to die right now.
And even if some of that stuff you can look into it where it's like maybe blown out of proportion in regards to maybe his health and things of that nature, the fact that it was out there the way it was and there was no like marketing to fight against it, like nobody was showing us enough time. Like they tried to show him running and stuff.
It's because we saw him.
Did he fall when he was running?
Yes, but it's because like there was no PR that they could do to make us think that Joe Biden is healthy because we could see him.
I mean, there was too much evidence to show that something ain't. Even if he was just a clumsy dude, like this nigga was Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah,
like there was nothing that you could say to save it. And
like, look over here instead.
His arrogance is a part of the reason why they lost, because again, a primary is so important, and I don't think people understand. Again, I understand the delegates selected her, and that's cool. But a primary where people feel like they are actually growing with this candidate, giving them moments to tell speeches that resonate with people, that's a big part of this. And then
charisma is a big part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, but that can get developed a little bit during that primary.
I don't think charisma can be.
You
developed.
can find the things that people resonate with you with better because you're having more conversations. You're on the policy. What is it? Damn, I can't think of the candidate trail. The campaign trail. You're on the campaign trail longer, so you're getting more reps in it.
Well, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
You
like
practice,
yeah,
the better
you get more chance to develop when you just doing what she does, being on the side like most vice presidents do. That's not a criticism of her, but when you're on the side and nobody's hearing you being a vocal leader, it's going to be a problem when you come out to now try to run out of nowhere with no campaign. And then you add to the fact that not only did she didn't have the time, she didn't have the personality for it. Also, too, the type of campaigning that she was doing with the celebrities didn't resonate at all with people at all.
I feel like she made huge missteps with the people that she chose to. I don't think celebrities need to be part of it at all. Like, we don't need your campaigning to be a concert series at all.
Do you feel like that criticism, though, isn't kind of fair because Trump did the same thing? He had celebrities endorsing him as well.
No, I just think I'm saying this across the board. Like, I don't think celebrities need to be a part of, like, it doesn't need to be a concert series. Yeah. You're campaigning. We need to hear what you have to say. And if you don't have enough to say to fill up that time.
And then, hold on, the last point I wanted to add to that wasn't necessarily about the celebrities, though. It was more so the fact that she didn't differentiate herself from Biden. And then the opportunity where she had that question to be like, hey, what's going to be different from you? She says, I can't think of it right now. I can't think of something and that was the problem, was the fact that you aren't, even though you may know what's going on, hey, we're in a good place in the future that's going to be prosperous, and Trump is probably going to now get to celebrate that being his win when it really isn't.
The same way he did with Obama and all the stuff that Obama put into place before Trump. People don't
The
realize
fact that she didn't just take an opportunity to, you don't have to shit on Biden. You could have just been like, hey, I was next to the president and I supported him, but there were maybe things that I wouldn't have done the way that he did. And in my presidency, I would differentiate myself from Biden in these X, Y, and Z methods, or how I would approach certain things.
She just didn't know what those X, Y, and Z
no,
methods
she never said.
were.
She said I didn't see any. She did not want to spite Biden. And I think that was her biggest problem. This close to the election, it's okay. Take the gloves off.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Swing.
Like, we've seen her do it before. That was like her highlight. What really got her to be vice president was how she told off Biden. So that's what I'm saying, where she missed that opportunity trying to play it safe. But then again, that's always the Democrats. That's their biggest issue. That's their Achilles heel regardless, is how they do politics. They put this mindset of, oh, we're going to be in the middle and try to figure it out, while you have this fucking lunatic saying, no, we're doing X, Y, and Z, and this is how it's going to happen, even if he can't make it happen at all.
Yeah. He's standing on a big box of business, like Maul would say.
So it's like
period.
It's an empty box of business.
It's a cardboard box filled with air, but still.
It has the concept of a plan. It's in the box.
No, he literally said that he has concept of plans for healthcare. Like, he didn't tell us what his plan. That's not even. Nobody cares what his plan is.
It's a concept of a plan. I do want to talk on one last talking point, because some of the people's analysis on this, and I want to get your feelings on this too. Their overall analysis, oh, she's a black woman, nobody was ever going to vote for her. Do you feel like that sentiment is true?
A part of me feels like if the person running against Trump was a white man, then he might have probably lost.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have felt that way. To me, I feel like it's
hard not to feel that way.
Oh, no,
because there's no
understand.
evidence that proves otherwise. There's a bunch of evidence that proves that people prefer white men to be the president of the United States.
I think with kind of what we just did and broke everything down, I think all those have to be taken higher in priority when you're taking things into consideration to why she lost. I think the black woman thing only does one thing, is that she has to work harder to resonate with people more. And I think that's the bigger thing, where just anything that she does to match Trump would have had to been twice as much effort to do. And I think the fact that she didn't go on like the Joe Rogan show, she, in her interviews, I just think that, and again, it has nothing against her person, I just think she comes off like an authoritarian so much.
She 100% does.
And that may be a byproduct of just how black women are conditioned to survive in that environment. And
a condition of the fact that she was a prosecutor.
No, I mean, true.
She's been in positions of power and
but we see
law
this
for a long time.
But we see this even with women in other parts of politics and just in leadership, where they may come off a lot tougher than maybe they are in real life, just for the simple fact of they need to have a wall up against people that won't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So I think that just is something that's going to bite her in the ass. And then anytime that you show that that's not you, it's going to be used as a sign of weakness. And that's why I say it's more work, anything she does, because of those things. I don't think she lost because of those things. I think she just wasn't galvanizing enough.
Do you think that Kamala lost because Cardi B?
I mean,
Because
the way that she
reading
read
on that phone,
it was bad.
The teleprompters were down. That's why she had to read it from her phone.
She had to Drake it on the mic.
She brought out Cardi. She brought out Meg. She brought out Glorilla. And I don't think you had to do that, because as far as black women, you already had our votes. So who was that for?
She brought out Quavo. He had the mesh shirt on. But let's get into this Cardi B situation. So I just think it's important that we at least highlight her attempt to what she was trying to do there, because it was definitely a mess. You can't go up there and Drake the election speech, especially in a swing state.
Like, I don't know what all of that was about. I really want us to go away from that and take the elections and the campaigning a little bit more serious, and it's not supposed to be entertaining at all.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
She was trying to get the teleprompter going.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this
swing state, ladies and gentlemen.
My whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl?
This is just, man, I feel so
I
bad for
need
her.
patience over here.
She really could
Hold
have
on,
been
hold on. How you guys
This
doing
would have been
tonight?
the perfect opportunity to just speak, not from the heart, but just speak
How
to
you
the
guys doing
people.
tonight?
Yeah.
Are we ready to make history?
She doing it. You're an MC. You should be able to do this
like you should be able to
Are
keep
we
a crowd
ready to make
entertained for 2
history?
minutes.
until you can get the
Are we ready to change these 4 years? No.
BlackBerry.
Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
See, it came to her eventually. It came
Thank
to
you.
her. All right, so let's listen to this part right here where she was actually reading.
Trump says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice.
So it's a long speech. It's about 8 minute speech, so we don't got to go through the whole thing.
Cardi B has always been vocal about politics and stuff like that. And I love that she uses her platform to try to inform her fans. It always makes me cringe a little bit, regardless of what she's speaking about when I hear her speak, because I'm like, why do you sound like that?
She from
Like
the Bronx.
you like that's not. I know I make a lot of jokes about the Bronx, but people from the Bronx can read.
To me, I feel like, because as somebody, when I was growing up, I did have like not a challenge with reading. I just didn't like reading out loud. That used to make me nervous. So I mean, in situations like this, is generally what I would do. You know how the teacher would have you read a paragraph and then go around the room. I would count to my paragraph, and I used to read my paragraph beforehand while everybody else was reading there.
Yeah, that's anxiety.
Well, I was doing this in 5th grade, so I could read. So when I stood up,
Social anxiety.
so when I stood up, people knew, you know what I'm saying, what I was
baby.
reading. Yeah, so I wouldn't, make people laugh at me while I was reading.
Oh, neurodivergent baby.
That's not neurodivergent. I didn't want to
I'm
stutter while I
kidding,
was
I'm kidding,
reading.
I'm kidding.
I told you
I
the story
did the
before,
same
right?
thing though.
I told
used
you the
to do
story about
same
when the girl laughed at me, right?
Yeah.
When she laughed at me for
I told you the story when I said orgasm instead of organism.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then I didn't even know what an orgasm was. Everybody laughed. I didn't know till years later why everyone was laughing. Years later, I was like, oh shit.
So I just feel like they played Cardi in this situation. They did do a lot to make her look bad.
They don't have to make her look bad. Even when Cardi is speaking to her fans from her brain directly to her mouth, it sounds like something there is lagging and disconnecting.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Like even like there's just it doesn't flow. When she speaks, it never flows. It always sounds like she has to like gather her thoughts. It always sounds like she doesn't know what word to say next.
I mean, even I could just see where this problem was I was expecting to read it in front of me, and now I'm looking down at a phone having to read it. And that font's probably gonna be a little bit smaller. You know what I'm saying?
But if she spoke fluently ever, then I would agree with you. But she never speaks fluently.
But the problem here wasn't fluent. She just wasn't reading the words right. Like she started stuttering over the
She
words.
doesn't say words right ever. That's what I'm saying. It's not about the reading. It's about she does not say words right, whether they're being read or whether she's just speaking freely.
But they flow better when they just coming off the top and off the cuff. When you're trying to read something in front of you, that shit usually just don't pan out well.
It pans out even worse for her.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
this is it just looks bad. The MCing just looks like you couldn't handle the crowd. It seems like you feeding for beef for Nikki. We ain't gonna talk about that though. It seemed like you trying to egg some beef on with Nikki, but
And then why? Hold on. Why you got Glorilla up there talking? It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees.
the beeps was the self-imposed beeps
Why
were
is
nuts.
she even there? You should have had Miss Rachel up there.
That'd have been better. Because like the thing is this, you're such a bad spot with them because you don't want them to do what Cardi doing and have to read a speech and sound crazy. Because I think that's another thing where it's like I'm listening. Just imagine I'm a voter in Wisconsin and I see Cardi B reading. It's the person you chose. So what is our education system? Like, how can I trust you if you can't get the person that's going to read the speech right?
Why is Cardi B the person you chose to come out to Wisconsin?
Like she resonates with that crowd.
Now I'm just mad. Like I'm going through my stages of grief. And the first stage was sadness. Now I'm in anger. It took a calm like 36 hours.
You want to read her speech? I mean, her speech with her message after the president lost, Vice President Kamala lost.
Yeah, sure.
All right, pressure's on.
Right? I gotta read better than Cardi. The bar is low. To Vice President Kamala, no matter what they've said to bring you down or belittle your run for presidency, they can never say you didn't run your race with honesty and with integrity. You really put up a fight against all the odds that were already stacked against you. You never accepted defeat as an option, which says so much about your strength and about your heart. I had to breathe, sorry. You really wanted better for all of us. She put all in caps. This may not mean much, but I am so proud of you. It doesn't. No one has ever made me change my mind, and you did. Plenty of people have made you change your mind, Cardi.
You told us you were never going to do this with politicians ever again.
We saw you get back with Offset 17 times. We've seen your mind change. I never thought I would see the day that a woman of color would be running for president of the United States. Didn't Shirley
Chisholm?
Yeah, didn't she run for? Wasn't she the first black woman to run for the?
She kind of did.
She kind of. They
she was like third party. She wasn't.
They was like, get out of here, bitch.
Yeah, she was third party. So.
Negress. That anything is possible. Thank you for being an example. Thank you for being empowered. Thank you for being a real example of what the American dream should be. I thought she was going to say thank you for being a real bitch at the end. That would have been funny.
Oh, you handled that good, though. That was a lot of pressure on you.
I know how to read.
And didn't learn the language till she was 7.
Period.
Wake it up. That's how you...
Don't tell them that. We have to hide that now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily inherently mean what you're trying to say.
No, I wasn't slow.
You just had a different curve. You know, you just had, you had an accelerated curve after.
I am an African American born in America.
Oh, shit. She didn't throw away the flag.
At this point, you got to throw it away. I'm about to.
She didn't tuck the flag. It's sick.
Tuck it. All deep.
You didn't put your flag down like
America.
Quando Rondo. That's wild. That's sick.
Yeah, 100%.
That's sick.
I'm glad Quando Rondo put the flag away, though. Yeah, that nigga was about to die a couple times.
I mean, that didn't help. I mean, I think the assault happened after the flag drop, honestly. So.
Oh, my God.
But, no, do we have anything else that we need to touch on in regards to the election? We do have one thing. That nigga Jason Lee, young.
I saw that. And I literally thought that somebody just made the flyer and put it up. I scrolled right past it. I was like, look at this AI nonsense.
No, Jason Lee has been elected to Stockton City Council.
That's where he's from originally.
He got like 60% of like the 6,000 votes there. Like, that's a feat.
This is what happens when voter turnout isn't great.
I promise y'all this. In the next 2 decades, Jason Lee is going to be a respected politician. And we're going to sit back doing our show being like, what the fuck?
There's going to be mad clips of me talking shit about him because I'm going to continue.
Like, this is crazy. Again, my people voted for Marion Barry. So, I mean, I have no room to talk about who people put in elected seats, but still, Jason Lee being like the gossip king to like midway politician is going to be like the craziest arc of all time. But we're going to see this be more and more, though.
Yeah. And then Fannie Love.
It's not
Fannie Love. That's what I'd be calling her.
Freaky Fannie.
Fannie Willis.
I like Freaky Fannie.
She was reelected.
Yeah. And
in Georgia.
We can use that to talk into the next talking point then. YSL trial is over.
They reelected Fannie because she was throwing niggas in jail. They were like, I like this bitch.
I mean,
let's reelect her.
That's not.
Let me get my shit off.
Oh, my bad. That's peace.
They were like, she is throwing these niggers in jail. Keep her right there. We want her. She's about the business that we want her to be about, period.
No, I mean, honestly, it's just because her Republican challenger wasn't nowhere near, up to par. There was another Democratic person, I believe, who was on the ballot, because I believe that's who I voted for. Mm-hmm. I don't think I voted for Fannie. But no, she won. She came through on top.
Yeah.
She also has yet to respond to the sentencings of Young Thug and the plea deals that have been arranged. So y'all,
Because that's a fail for the state, basically.
well, it's a
Low-key.
fail for the state because of the time frame. Like it's being one of the longest trials.
It is the longest criminal trial in Georgia's history.
Yeah, so it being one of those
Or in
trials.
Fulton County history. I'm not sure which one.
It's probably at least for sure Fulton, but just the fact that how much money went into it, the fact that you had. This was the craziest part about this. The fact that she had so much scandal going on in her own life in regards to the Trump case and then the YSL case. Again, I don't think if she takes on Trump, I think she sweeps his YSL case. Honestly, the main thing with their problem was they relied too much on witness testimony. When you talking about Woody and people who were supposed to be,
Yeah, and then Woody was up there like, I lied about everything.
Yeah, he
I told to
recanted
the
all his
police.
stories. He basically said everything I said was a lie. They gave him immunity so he could go up there and do that.
Yeah.
Like it was just a foolish endeavor the way they did. Like they really thought these guys, I think what they thought was Woody was going to be scared they were going to kill him. So he was going to give whatever they wanted to him in response to make sure we have protection. Like that's how you need to, cooperate with me and you give me my protection and I'll give you whatever statement you want on the stand.
Young Thug knows after being released that he cannot touch nobody in his circle or in his perimeter can touch Woody.
I mean,
that nigga has to thrive and live for
he's-
you to stay out.
He's under entire like super surveillance. Basically, he's on probation with 15 years.
I'll pull up the terms.
Yeah, I know if he violates anything, he goes back. He can do 20. He can't be in the city any longer. He can't associate with anyone from the YSL group or gang except his brother and young Gunna.
And y'all, everyone's been saying it, but y'all owe Gunna apology. I never said nothing about him because I'm not a hood bitch and I will snitch immediately. And I respect people who snitch to save their livelihoods. But him requesting to make music with Gunna says a lot. And I think y'all need to, going forward, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it was always part of what their ideal was. Because like, I think what we have to kind of put into perspective in regards to this, the fact that he had the funds to fight a case this long.
A RICO?
I mean, granted, it's a state RICO, but we have to put that in perspective to how much capital is next to him. Because fighting a case this long is draining on your pockets, especially when you're not producing capital in the same way. Mm-hmm. So you can only imagine, again, that's a big reason.
You can only get so much from the streams.
And that's why you can say just probably imagine why the Gunna thing was important for him to be out was because like, no, you need to make some type of music so that we can stay.
You need to make money.
Yeah, we need to stay afloat.
And then Gunna got out. It dropped number one hit after number one hit after number one hit. He did what the fuck he was supposed to do while he was out. And then while he was out, he was like, I don't fuck with none of you niggas. I'm about to go in the mountains in Colorado and do some goddamn push-ups and make some hits. And that's it. And that's what you should continue doing. And I want Young Thug to go join Gunna in the mountains and do some push-ups as well. Start meditating, take some yoga, and start rapping about how you fucking niggas bitches and you have a lot of money since you can't rap about gang activity anymore. And I want you to put your back into that free concert. I want you to put your all into it every year, twice a year.
So I guess we can just talk about our reactions to it. To me, again, this is just system work here in regards to he was going to have to do some type of time just for the fact of how long everything was taking place and the fact that he didn't have evidence to show that he was innocent. Mm-hmm. So I knew that there was going to be time for it. Did I want him to be taken away? Again, as somebody who's in the city who has heard stories from people who were associated, they knew people that were associated. Dude's not the best guy. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, freak Thug, or I'm glad that he's out of the system. Or,
that's disrespectful to his victim's family.
That's disrespectful to a lot of people that just like I know in regards to that. So again, he went to court. He had to account for what he did and he got the time he got. I think what's really important, and I think the only reason I'm not feeling like it's a super duper fail for the community is because, again, the parameters around him doing the anti-gang stuff, doing the anti-gun stuff in the city and things like that. I think and the fact they're going to be limiting his lyrics. So I think those things are important and they should be something that I hope they stay on top of, because him being able to promote that in a real way, even if it doesn't feel as effective as other people feel, or if they feel, oh, he's falling off, because like that is more important than anything else. The fact that we are changing it, because if he does good, now we have a new avenue where people can follow. If it actually is successful.
Young Thug is a creative person. you can tell by his music. He does, like, he has his own sound and stuff. So I don't think that changing the subject matter is gonna change like his fans' love for him.
I don't think the fans, but I think in regards to it being palatable music, potentially might change because you're putting a block on a creator.
I don't know. I just you're not allowed to talk about like a specific thing, but I feel like if you're a creative like Young Thug is, I feel like he'll be able to get around it and just get inspiration from other things. There are so many other things. I want the first couple of tracks to like dig deep into your trauma a little bit and what you went through in prison.
But even then, that's why it's tricky because there could be stuff that you're talking about that could be somewhat people can say is affiliate. This was his first tweet after getting out. Wham! Let's drop one of these rats, Peter.
Yeah, and then Baby
throw that nigga back in. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit crazy. I think isn't that Baby's name?
Peter?
No, Wham.
Wham. Okay, I mean saying still. Let's drop one on these rats, Peter.
I'm not 100% sure, but
right, why
Baby
talk
replied
like that?
and was like, but the Let's Drop was a track.
Mm-hmm.
So his first track that he's gonna release is gonna be featuring Lil Baby.
Again, to me it just doesn't feel like that's the kind of first tweet you want to say out of it.
No, I wouldn't.
Why are you talking about
either.
rats? Like, don't even talk about it. You're not an exterminator.
I don't think that was a great step. It doesn't make me confident in your state of mind. It doesn't make me confident that you're gonna stay out. Like,
what's the over under? I give him 5 years before we have another incident, and then something happens where he's either in question or he has to go back to, even just to sit down for a little bit, and then now he's going to put it in jeopardy within at least 5 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him 2.
See, I was at 2 first. I was actually 2.5 at first, 2.5 years, but I'm like, maybe he'll try at least a year and a half of just being out of the limelight. Like for real, like after he maybe make a little bit of money off a little run here, after you get out. But we'll see.
This is what I want Young Thug to do, right? I want you to get in the fucking booth. I want you to stay in that motherfucker. The only time I want to see Young Thug is when he's on his way to and from the studio, and you gotta have that shit on. You have to heavily dig deep in your fashion bag, okay? Because that is something that he does well. He does the like alternative thing. That album cover that he did with the pleated skirt. People dress up like that for Halloween. You need to get into your different nigga bag. And that is who you need to be. Different the nigga bag. With that Drewski fucking, that's who you need to be.
Put
from
the
now
skirt
on.
back on, nigga.
Put the skirt back on. I'm so dead ass.
I know you are. That's why I said it.
Like, layer the skirt with some pants. Every time we see you, you need to have that shit on. It needs to be irrefutable that you are a fashion icon, right? That's the only time we need to see you for that first year and a half tucked off. Then you drop. Immaculate music. Beautifully produced. Lyrically engaging. And then you do your little tour, you make your little money, you go away again. That's it. That's the first 3 years.
All right. Well, before we wrap up the conversation, you need to start showing people a little bit more grace. Because I seen your tweet that you put out. When Young Thug baby mama thanked Mariah the scientist.
Oh yeah.
You have to understand there is reasons in prison.
Of course you want to talk about this because you want to make excuses for niggas being shitty fathers all the time. God damn, nigga, you have nothing to do but worry about yourself and your loved ones. Why does anybody need to remind you to speak to your goddamn children?
I feel like you
unless you have dementia.
You took that out of context.
Or Alzheimer's.
But you took that out of context.
She said
thank you for making sure that was a line of communication was still there.
Why would a line of communication not be there?
Because I can understand why if I'm talking to people, I don't want my conversations with my family to be recorded.
If baby mother herself.
But I'm saying, listen.
Your conversations with your children?
I don't want them to be recorded.
With your children?
Recorded, yes.
Every conversation is recorded.
That's why I don't want that. I don't want my kids to see me in this compromise. There are reasons in regards to that why he's not denying access to them. He doesn't want them to see when he's at his lowest. Like, why can't you have empathy for that? I'm not saying that you have your opinions wrong. I'm saying, why don't you ever have empathy for, like, he's in a compromising situation. There could be a potentially reason why he didn't want his kids to see him like that, rather than he just on some bullshit.
Bro, I didn't think about the kids visiting him.
I'm saying even talking to him, it was on a video screen. They were doing face screens for
Like,
the calls.
you can, regardless of the situation you're in and how dire it is, your children are always going to be the first priority in your brain, to me.
But
they should always be. So the line of communication being open is not something that should, like,
can I pose a question to you then?
Waver.
Can my children be the first priority? And then I'm thinking, hey, there's people in this prison that work for the prison that know my ops, that work with my ops. So I don't want to have them hear me talking to my kids. My kids say something where they're at, they're located. Now I'm getting a letter in my bunk saying, hey.
So Mariah the scientist is the best
She's an
middleman
artist.
to that when everybody knows who the fuck she is.
But she's
outside.
an artist and she has security.
She's in the media with you. If people have access to her, then they'll have access to your kids too. That don't make no goddamn sense.
Do you know one of
Call
Young
your
Thug's
kids.
baby mama got killed at a bowling alley? So they're not safe. They're not without security. They're not safe in the world like that. They are exposed.
Why would you need somebody to help you keep up with talking to your goddamn kids?
It wasn't
That's what
that.
I got from that.
There could have been something that she was just doing.
Let me
that
go read
allowed
the
for
tweet.
the conversation. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like you should just have just a tag race for
No.
a nigga who's fighting a Rico.
No.
That's all.
No, because you're fighting the RICO because you destroyed your own community in the first goddamn place. Those are choices that you made
Again,
as
I
a
agree.
grown-ass black man.
100%.
Now you're facing the consequences of your actions, and you should not need to be reminded of your goddamn priorities as a man and a father, point blank, period.
you
And we are never
read
going
the
to...
tweet. Read the tweet because you keep putting out context that you just got out of your own perception of events. Because that's crazy. That's not what she was saying at all. It's on your tweets. Because that was wild. That was not what she was implying. She was implying for her just being a good individual who may, if they get married, potentially be their stepmom, making sure that they were.
She said, I commend Mariah the scientist. I love her so much. She's the only person that made sure he talked to his kids every day throughout his whole trial.
Yeah, that's not saying that he didn't try to call out. She was just the one who maybe call and say, hey, did he talk to the kids? No, listen. She could have been like, hey, Colin, did he talk to the kids or something going on? She could have been that person checking in with her. But
she
your
could have
first
been
thing
that,
is
but
thinking that he's
that's
abandoned.
not what I got from that.
I
Because
know
why would you need to publicly thank this woman for making sure that he calls his kids if that was something that he didn't have trouble doing on his fucking own?
Because she didn't say
in the
that.
first place.
That's not implied that. That implies that no one else would call her and say, hey, is he talking to them? Have y'all communicated
We got
with
two
him?
different things from it.
I know, because
Let's
you
move
like
on.
to think the negative of people, yo.
Let's move on.
That shit is crazy. All right, so before we move on, we do want to give condolences, RIP to a legend, Quincy Jones, the father of music, has passed away.
Very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate in regards to him losing life and the family that he had. One of his daughters dated Tupac,
I did not know that.
and she was on was it The Office? The girl she looked kind of mixed race, but she favored heavily white on The Office. That's his daughter.
Oh, Rashida Jones.
Yeah, I
That's
think
her
that's her
name.
name,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his daughter. A lot of people. Who I know who are a lot of people who's happy though in Hollywood, because Quincy was giving up old Hollywood secrets. Quincy was telling everything, and I think that just goes without being said, because I know there's some niggas who I'm tired of you telling about my grandpa getting dick down. Like, stop. Like, stop, my nigga. Like, I don't want to know that, dog. I don't want to know what he did with
I walked in the room and he was sucking dick.
What was the comedian Richard Pryor? I don't want to know my grandpa was blowing Richard Pryor. Stop telling me that. But I did want to see this in the wake of his passing. I saw people creating like these king of music and pop dichotomies as graphs or whatever. So I wanted to ask you what you thought. So this one went down and said the king of music / pop was Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
The queen of pop was Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
They have the queen of music being Rihanna.
Nope.
The princess of pop being Britney Spears.
Okay. The queen of music being Rihanna?
That's what they have right here.
Okay.
So they have the queen of Latin music being Shakira.
The Latin music? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The queen of rap, Nicki Minaj.
Okay. I agree with that.
Prince of pop, Justin Bieber.
Okay.
King of rap, Eminem. Biggest hit maker.
Deep Negro sigh.
Biggest hit maker, Rihanna. Greatest vocalist.
Y'all was blowing dicks on this list.
Greatest vocalist, Mariah Carey. King of modern R&B. Who do you think?
Usher.
Weeknd.
What the fuck?
And this is a queen of alternative music, but you know her?
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey, the queen of alternative music. That's what it has. Do you agree with that at all?
I would take Rihanna out of both those slots and Eminem.
I think Hitmaker is not bad. If you want to put her there, like that's not a bad.
No, I would put Beyonce there.
For the biggest Hitmaker?
Yeah.
I would rather say queen of music Beyonce than
Queen of music.
Because Beyonce dabbles in every different genre. Like
Yeah. I would put Beyonce at the queen of music. And then biggest hitmaker.
We could be honest. People may say 2012 or 2016 was Rihanna's biggest run. I would argue some of them songs she had in the late 2000s, them shits was bangers.
Her run was long, but I don't know because like, bitch, you haven't put out an album in so long that I don't even want to talk about you as a musician anymore.
But
you don't belong on this list.
But as just a hit maker.
But she hasn't had a hit since like 20.
But that's not from
12.
But that's not because of that's from lack of trying though. That's not because she's been putting out music and nobody's bumping it.
But like I think there might be somebody who has more consistency and a bunch of hits too. I just can't think.
Drake.
You could probably put Drake there instead of Rihanna. Yeah, even though I hate that sentence. I hate that sentence so much and that it came out of my mouth.
That's hate.
But like he's been consistent. Right. And he's still going. So yeah.
Well, since we're on the Drake topic, let's just carry on into it a little bit further.
I wanted to talk about this so bad.
You got hate in your heart. You got so much hate in your heart for Drake.
I wanted to talk about this so bad because I was watching the videos. So Drake went to which game was it?
It was I'll explain it real quick, but I'm gonna tell you why I just love your synopsis of these things because she just is void of any like connection to basketball, like
I know that he owns the team that they were playing against.
He doesn't own the team. He doesn't. I'm gonna
or
explain
he's part of the or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain it to you. So it was Vince Carter's jersey ceremony. So Vince Carter is a legendary Toronto Raptor. Of course, Drake is from Toronto. Mm-hmm. So they were celebrating his jersey. Drake showed up. Mm-hmm. Drake even got a shout out during his speech. They were playing the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. Mm-hmm. On the Kings is a former one of the best players in Raptors history, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan and Drake have had a relationship for almost the whole time DeMar was there.
Yeah, and then he showed up in the Not Like Us video.
Yes, he portrayed him.
Yeah, I know all of that.
Yeah. So then it comes out, they're having the event, they're playing against DeMar DeRozan. He says during the broadcast of the show that if they were to raise, again, unprovoked, he says that they were to raise a jersey for DeMar DeRozan, he would go up there and pull it down himself. He also then goes on to mean mug him for the duration of the second half up until the end of the game where he then calls him a pussy.
That's the part that I thought was corny as fuck. Like Drake being at the game, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't matter. But you as a grown man, mean mugging somebody and then just calling him mumbling under your breath, fucking pussy. Like I already think that Drake is corny as fuck in the first place. So this didn't help because like it's such like mean girl behavior. Like let's just stare at her. Ew. Are you not a grown ass fucking man?
Is that a question for me?
No, that's not a question.
I'm just letting you cook until I get in mine.
It's a rhetorical question. It was just so funny. Like I was just thinking about like what was going through Drake's head when he was staring at him. Like he was like, "Oh, I wonder if he's looking at me. I hope he loses." Like he's just such a fucking cornball to me.
I think.
And then you didn't do anything. Like with I don't want things to be ended with violence.
Yes, she does.
But like if you show up, that's not even the showing up part because he was obviously there for a reason. That's not the corny part. But like the mean mugging and the standing there and making it obvious that like you mean mugging this nigga and that you have a problem with him. Like, come on, my nigga. That's just corny.
Well, I think this is a conundrum of two people that were technically both at work. So yes, DeMar DeRozan has his work uniform on. Mm-hmm. He has his jersey on. But Drake is the ambassador for the Raptors. So again, like you're right, he does have every reason to be there, and the fact that they're celebrating a legend in the franchise. To me, I feel like that's just like when you see another nigga at work you don't like, but you know y'all can't fight because y'all both need this job. That's just how you will respond to that nigga. You see him on lunch and he's sitting over there doing whatever little work emails. You sit at that nigga like, oh, that nigga pussy, yo. Hate that nigga, dog. Look at that nigga, his fucking weak ass tie. that nigga too lame, nigga. Look at that little overcoat that nigga got. That shit old as fuck.
It's completely
You see that dirt on his shoulder, nigga, over there? That nigga too lame, nigga. That nigga got frail threads in his fucking work shirt. Nigga, this nigga too corny. Like, you do that sometimes to a nigga. And then when y'all get into the room, you just sitting right next to bruh.
It's completely normal to exchange hateful glances with a nigga that you don't fuck with. But to stand there and stare at him the entire time and mean mug him.
When that nigga on time, like, yo, bro, like, you ugly.
Like,
I hate you. Sometimes I don't mind that. I like to look at and stare at the nigga that I don't like.
That's corny.
I don't gotta say shit to you, nigga. I'm looking at you dead in your eyes. You not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing. But I know you pussy.
Because you know you're not gonna do nothing. So
okay.
You're just intimidate. You're trying to intimidate the person. It's obviously not fucking working. And
we don't know that they lost.
Yeah, but when the intimidation doesn't fucking work and you're just sitting there staring at a nigga, like, what was the goal?
I want the shawty that I know really cool with me to get a conversation with him to be like, oh, why this nigga always staring at me? Oh, what's wrong with this nigga? So her to come to me to tell me, oh, I'm bothering this nigga. I know I'm on his mind now. That's the reason why you do it.
I saw videos of him like running past and being in front of Drake, and he didn't even like look over there. Like
he's scared.
The nigga who's unbothered and ignoring the corny bitch staring at him always looks like the cooler nigga.
No. Not this go around.
Always.
Not this. To me, I'm sorry, bro. If you came to my house and cried at my door when you got traded from the team, you cannot then go on my ops video and then call me a pedophile. You can't do that. We're not going to be cool anymore. It's going to be a mean mug every time.
That's exactly why I should go on my ops video to call you a pedophile, because you didn't get me back on the team, bitch.
We won a championship when you left, nigga. Deuces. Like, what are you talking about,
I don't
nigga?
know.
We won when you left. So, sorry, nigga. It was worth it.
Listen, he didn't get him back on the team. He hopped on the video with his op.
But he can we put that? Hold on.
That was corny also.
No, we need to put this in perspective. Not only was he in the music video, he was on the pop-up. He's mentioned in the song.
In the song?
Yeah, because they call him Debo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the song. So it's like, no, nigga, like you were part of this.
You think he was part of the camp leak?
I don't think it was that much. I would think that's hard. That's crazy. Like you being the nigga saying that Drake's the pedophile is sick, yo. Like, no, nigga, when I was in Toronto, nigga.
That definitely didn't come from the camp. That came from TikTok.
No, I'm just saying, like, just
blind items.
But I'm just saying, for him to be the person to be like, oh, Drake do got another kid out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That could have been DeMar.
Yeah. That could have been him.
But then again, even more reason to be like, oh, okay.
The nigga did some slimy shit to you, but I feel like you need to be more tactful in the way that you get revenge or try to intimidate him. The way that he did it just came off lame.
I think DeMar is one of them niggas that Drake told the lies to. Remember we talked about that theory about giving people lies to see who would leak it? Mm-hmm. I think DeMar is probably one of those people.
But didn't he get traded like before all this shit happened and all that stuff? So
but you can still be in the but you can still be in the mix. We cool. Like, you was part of this. You was down for this. We won afterwards. I'm definitely not mad at you now. We won. So, like, what are you talking about? But then for you to then take information that I gave you just because, like I said, I think Drake is cerebral like that. I think he has a lie for everybody. I think he knows every lie he told to a person.
Has it written down in a book. Has
it so that anytime it comes out, he know exactly where it came from. So I think DeMar could have been on that list. And that's where the meme mug came from, where it's like, yo, you really lame. Like, I know you're lame.
Listen, it was the length of the mean mug.
I mean, if I got my bodyguard with me, I'm looking at you
all
day, nigga. Chubbs.
It's just corny shit all around.
I got Chubbs next to me, bro. There was a nigga I went to school with, nigga. This nigga in high school was 6'5", like 2 something. I used to stand next to this nigga, feeling tough, nigga. You couldn't beat him, so I definitely can't beat us. But we gotta put people into question, man. Some Haitian brothers was acting wild on the internet the other day. Some niggas that you need to speak about.
I want you to stop saying that he is Haitian.
He is. Kodak Black is Haitian. He had a flag on in the Twitch.
Y'all need to blur that flag out. I want everybody to forget that Kodak Black is Haitian, and I want him to stop claiming Haiti.
You and Kai
there's so many celebrities who are Haitian and don't claim Haiti, and then the fucking worst piece of shit one is the one who's like, ooh, Haiti all day. God. Damn.
Well, let's get into the people. So if y'all not aware, Kai has been on a subathon where he's been inviting like celebrities and other streamers onto his Twitch.
And Kai is half Haitian. He can claim it.
Yeah, I'm saying that's another person right there. Both of these boys is actually kind of out of line a little bit with that. Kai is out of line for bringing him on the show because we've all seen how Kodak has been active. But let's just make sure we get the people to know what's going on. Kai's doing a subathon. He's had Lil Uzi, Glorilla, DDG. We're gonna get into that in just a minute too. All on the subathon. Been doing really good actually. He's actually doing great numbers.
He's doing a 30-day stream where he's staying on stream like full out for 30 days straight.
Had the NPCs while he sleep. He been swatted. They swatted him too.
Oh yeah. I'm glad he got his account and everything back together after that happened because that was crazy.
But yeah, so the thing about this, and I hate anytime we
You think he actually got swatted though?
Yeah. I think it's reasonable to think. It's not that hard.
That's something that Kai could set up with actors
when we go live, we're going to have to be mindful of that, making sure that we get VPNs and stuff so people can't ping our location and shit. So I mean, you got to be careful with that live shit. But what I was just going to say was like, and I hate sounding like a broken record when it comes to Kodak because everybody says this every time he does interviews. Why is his people letting him do interviews like this? To the effect where he literally popped a perk on camera.
This nigga popped a perk and then chased it down with a juice box. You fucking menace.
But then he popped it like it was like a peanut. Like he threw it up in the air like he was Jordan. Like flexed his wrist and caught it in his mouth. When you do drugs as much as that, add a little razzle dazzle to it. But I'm just saying, like the fact that he caught it then fell, like he did the whole little thing. Like
if one thing he gonna do is get them drugs in his mouth.
To me, it just seems like. To me, it just seems like his team isn't an existing one. It just probably seems like one or two handlers, folks who are just paid for the day, and that's it. Because you can't have any PR.
Where is his mother?
I don't like doing that because we don't know people's conditions. So we don't.
There was a video you remember that video when he said he wanted to kiss his mom on the mouth and then she was like, "Whoa, the fuck." So she's a rational, able-bodied woman.
I just want to pose.
Send that nigga to Haiti.
I want to pose this.
Send him. Kodak needs to be sent to Haiti. He would probably literally join the gang and start terrorizing the Haitian people. Actually, I take it back.
I will say this. When you just got to imagine his lifestyle growing up and whatever his mom was able to produce with whatever skills or whatever she had to do. How can she tell him to do anything when he has superseded any of her imaginable thoughts for his life?
That wasn't like an actual,
I'm just saying.
I don't think his mom can actually do anything.
I don't think there's anybody that could. How are you going to tell me to not be a druggie when you have to ask me for money?
Yeah, his label is gonna have to be the one that is gonna be like, go to fucking rehab.
I think he's independent. I'll check. I think he might be independent, bro.
Oh, it's just fucking sad. And then Sexy Red took him under his wing after he basically said that he was suicidal last year and he wasn't happy and he was super lonely and he didn't. This nigga, is he not still a rapist?
I mean, he did plead guilty to that.
Like,
it was a high school girl.
I'm sorry. This might be a little controversial. I don't give a fuck about the mental health of a convicted fucking rapist.
That's understandable.
You go ahead and be depressed. Think about what the fuck you did and why the fuck you don't have anybody genuine around you because you're a goddamn monster, nigga. That's literally it.
So yeah, he's with Atlantic. He's not independent. He's with Atlantic. Which makes sense because I think a lot of those people who've been on there is with Atlantic. Because I think Gorilla with Atlantic.
I don't know.
I don't know if CMG is
got an Atlantic deal.
He may not have an Atlantic deal, but he may have because we don't have to stay too long on this part. But Ice from Joe Budden podcast has said this before, where labels we used to come to him and have him try to push certain artists and things like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have a label deal with them, but
it's
you may have
promo.
They might be licensing time from you.
100%. That makes sense.
Where it's like, hey, for 3 weeks or while you're doing this promotion, we can give you X, Y, and Z for these, the time for these
Kai is making a shit ton of money from being on this stream for 30 days. Like I just want to see what his daily revenue is.
It's got to be insane.
It's absolutely insane.
I don't know. I wanted to play this part right here.
What's his face? Just bought his mama a house.
Sleeping and shit.
You want to sleep there the whole time?
Huh? Even while you sleeping, it's still on.
Yeah. Like the nigga eyes be bugging out when this happens.
Yeah, never cut off.
Nah. This nigga's a crackhead.
The whole 30 days, that bitch is on.
Kai's just like,
and then you gotta sleep by it. Or
you remember how? Hold on. You remember how Lil Baby used to do interviews at the beginning of his career?
when he was high as fuck.
That's exactly what Kodak looks like every time.
Not seeing my bed, but the cameras is all there.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And
then they got like
everywhere. Even factual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
and after the check and loud thing, so they got like horns,
scratching
that
and
go
shit
off
like
at night. They got like fire that fight on the bed.
He's tweaking the fuck out.
Yeah, the vibrator, the whole bed vibrate, and they got like a truck horn, like
Sure.
And we go,
Like his eyes, like they just about to run out of his head.
You can tell Kai is just uncomfortable too.
It's hard to be comfortable around a nigga like that.
Yeah, especially when you don't do that shit yourself. Kai is sober a lot.
I don't think he even engages in a lot of stuff like that, except probably
No,
like
I've never seen Kai like take shots on stream or anything like that at all. Like this nigga be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
this nigga just playing with his phone, going crazy with him and Kai.
And even though this wasn't he's not saying anything, so I don't know what.
He's about to play a song.
Even though this probably didn't go how Kai wanted it to go and he didn't get the amount of energy that he wanted from Kodak, this still was very good for his stream and his numbers, because that shit is crazy.
And then even with the Glorilla one did pretty good too, because they had beef. Remember there was like a beef between her and Kai because she was supposed to be on his stream and didn't. She didn't show up or something, and she like called him lame. You don't remember that? It was like last year.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, they had like a little beef, so that was good to have her on there.
They looked like they had a good time. They were doing all the little TikTok dances and stuff like that.
She shook them little chicken cutlets for him.
How do you feel? How old is Kai? I don't know. Kai just
like
looks 12 to me.
Like 22, 23.
So like the ladies getting on there and like shaking their asses next to him just makes me feel awkward because he looks 13.
Nah, that's a grown man.
But he is a grown man, so
grown man,
it's just so like when Nicki Minaj got on there and all him and his peers were around and then she bent over and twerked and I was like, these niggas are 12. Why are you twerking for 12-year-olds? But they're not. But they just look so young.
It's so funny how it's like you're like, why are you twerking for 12-year-olds instead of why are you 40 plus, almost 50 twerking? That's just funny.
Well, no, because if she was twerking for 50-year-olds. Like I wouldn't have the same thought at all.
You'd be like, why are those nasty 50-year-olds looking at her twerk? That's what you would say.
No.
You would find some way to throw it on the men.
I'd be like, look at these old motherfuckers.
Well, let's get into the more recent kind of stream that happened for us anyway, with DDG being on. And DDG brought the little Halo on.
Yeah. So I saw this last night. I saw the clip on Twitter. He walked in with DDG he walked in with Halo in a messenger fucking bag like a goddamn puppy. That is your child.
That shit was swag.
No, it wasn't.
The kid was safe. His neck
made
is supported.
me so uncomfortable. I was like, is the baby in the fucking bag?
Women hate seeing men with agency with children.
I love seeing DDG with Halo. I've said that on the show. Like, I love how often he is with him. Halo obviously fucking loves DDG. I have never said anything about his parenting or anything like that or how much he posts Halo or anything like that right up until just now. And he showed up with the baby in a bag. And I was just slightly taken aback.
It was a designer bag.
It doesn't matter.
Makes it more fly. I think it does.
The baby just looks so much like a prop in that bag that it just made me slightly
uncomfortable. He was so well behaved though.
Halo was always well behaved. That's a chill ass baby.
He was sitting there. He was looking. He felt like he wasn't supposed to be there. So, he kept looking back. Mama coming in, dog. Like, what are we doing? Like, who are all these people? But Halle did have some things to say.
Did you screenshot the tweet?
Oh, yes, I did. I even got, I like this part when I screenshot it and it has, this post has been deleted. After I love when that's my favorite time to screenshot. So it says, hi, everyone. Just so you know, I'm out of town and I don't approve of my baby being on stream tonight. I wasn't told or notified, and I'm extremely upset to have my baby in front of millions of people. Am I his mother and protector and saddened? Yeah, I'm his mother and protector and saddened that I wasn't notified specifically when I'm out of town. And she got a lot of hell for this.
Yeah, I would give her a lot of hell for this too. The only type of
baby,
like
though.
empathy that I have is that like he should have been like, I'm taking Halo on this stream that your millions of people are gonna see. Millions of people have already seen your baby. He's on DDG stream all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. DDG has great numbers too. Millions of people consume your baby on a regular basis.
That sounded crazy.
I know that sounds crazy, but like as far as media, on a regular basis, this is something that you're used to. Like this is not the baby's first time on stream. This is the baby's first time on this specific stream. And he should have been like, yo, pulling up with Halo to da-da-da, and that's it. Not for your permission, but just to let you know, just loop your co-parent in.
Let me ask you a question. Did DDG and her ever get married?
No.
Okay. Well then that's your baby, honey. You can tell that nigga to do exactly what you want him to do with that kid. And if he don't do it, then you can start making shit difficult. Because at the end of the day, that is her child. She the one who almost died having that baby. He just had a good time. So if she has that problem with it, so be it. I'm 100% on her side. I don't even think she should have deleted the tweet. Because if the nigga ain't your husband, that means he's not committed to you as what you've produced with your body. And if you say what goes, you goes. And he don't have no right to do that. That's her child. That she lets you be a part of that life. Not the other way around. You're not entitled to it. All you entitled to is to make sure you pay your portion.
Everybody was giving her hell because nobody wanted her to be with this man in the first goddamn place. That's the thing. Like every time you complain now about DDG, then everyone's gonna be like, bitch, we told you. Like, bitch, like we tried to warn you that this was gonna happen, and now this is your bed, now lay in it. Now you cannot come to the internet for empathy or anything of that nature. Go to your family, go to your support system, vet to the people who are near you and care about you, not the fucking internet, because they're gonna be heartless and they're gonna be like, the nigga is a bum and we told you he was a bum and not to procreate with him, bitch.
I don't think none of this. I hate when y'all do that because y'all just throw words on people that don't even make sense because the nigga's one of the most successful streamers, so he's not a bum. Y'all just don't like him. But the thing is,
no, I'm just saying, like that's the
my
sentiment.
my commentary was on the sentiment, not what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the sentiment around him. But the problem that I just have is that she's the one who gets to make those decisions. He doesn't. Like you are not a married. You're not a married. You weren't married to her to then have that access to be able to say no. This is what's going to happen.
Well, they don't have to be married in the eyes of the law because
no, she can, but she makes the final. What I'm saying is she makes the final say.
Their child.
Yeah, but she makes the final say.
Yeah, usually, but like the marriage doesn't.
No, a marriage would have entitled him.
They're not together.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because you remember my theory about why they broke up was not to do with infidelity. It was the fact that he wasn't trying to get on page to the things that she's doing for her. And as we see, she's been a lot more sexier online. You can tell there's a push for something going on here, and you don't want whatever he got going on to mess up what she's about to take herself. So again, I can see that still being in fact, play right here. No, nigga, I don't want that. I think some people were being a little crazy talking about, oh, he taking him to the same stream that Kodak Black was at. I don't think that means anything. The nigga's not there. No one's doing drugs or anything like that.
He was safe in the environment. Just let her know that he's going to be in the environment.
I don't care if you nutted in me and made this. That baby ain't allowed to go there because I said so. And that's all she need to say. And for him to go behind her back, she about to make shit way more difficult for him. He's going to be way less we seeing that nigga doing any camera work with the kid.
I think that parents in general need to be careful with putting their kids on camera.
Oh, 100%.
People are creepy as hell. This, I didn't feel as strongly about this until I met him. And then I was like, yeah, you're right. This is not something I've ever thought about because I don't have no fucking kids. But I do think it's weird that you put generally putting your kid up on social media for millions of people to see because you're a celebrity and then complaining about millions of people seeing them. Well, I don't know, girl.
Some of the criticism about her are warranted. Like the fact that you were trying to act like you were trying to hide his identity until whatever contracts got passed, and then now you started showing it was a lot of lame stuff like that. To me, I understand if you want to call her lame, I have an opinion about her being lame, go right ahead. But to say that she don't have the right or that's not her call to make, I totally disagree.
Yeah, both of them are 100% warranted to what they want to do with their child. They can make whatever claims they want to make.
All right, we got to get to this story that happened in West Africa. Some sick niggas going on out in West Africa. You didn't hear about this?
Mm-mm.
You didn't hear about the dude with the 300 tapes? So
the 300 tapes?
Okay, so this is what I have here. So this guy was from New Guinea. I believe that was the country's name. I woke up 3 days ago. This was probably like either Monday or Tuesday. I woke up and this man was all over my timeline. I think for some reason I might follow like some African content creators or something like that. Like
African TikTok is a regular part of.
But
my
it's on
timeline.
Twitter, so they push
Twitter.
that.
Yeah,
I get regularly pushed that kind of content to me. So I woke up this morning to find out that this is a man. Okay, so yeah, he works in the financial district there.
Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah,
that's what.
What did I say?
I don't even know.
I said equatorial. I just said it really slow.
Okay,
I was like sounding it out. He was a financial officer there, and he they thought he was doing fraud because he was really good at his job. So the people, and that's what his job is to do, is to detect fraud. So his job ends up investigating him, and they end up seizing like a whole bunch of videos. And this nigga done had like 300 to 400 videos of him sleeping with multiple like different women. These women happen to be the wife of his brother, the wife of his boss, the wife of his colleagues, 6 of the 8 women that work in the office. And this nigga was long stroking these women. He had the camera set up like we got to set up, and he's sitting up there making the Beyonce movie with all the sex scenes showing. I'm talking about no condom, no kind of protection. He long stroking all these women. And
that's
this nigga
insane.
This nigga look like Urkel. This nigga look like a steroided Urkel. And this shit is crazy. I want to find a list if I can find a list of everybody. And he got his own family too.
Of course he does.
That's look at that, a whole bunch of kids at the house. See, but when niggas take pictures like this when they family, you know they hate their family though. That nigga not even smiling. You know that nigga.
When you brought up African Twitter, I thought you were gonna bring up the woman who poisoned her boyfriend because she found out that he was cheating on her, and she brought him some pepper soup to his house, and then him and all his roommates ate it, and 5 people died.
I did hear about that too. That was sick. I didn't know that was true, so I didn't.
No, it's true. Yeah.
So let me right here. So let me give y'all the list of who his alleged relationships were. Okay, wife of the director of the presidential security, the attorney general's wife, the daughter of the director general of police, the wife of his pastor's little brother, his godfather's wife, his sentry's wife, his bodyguard's wife, 15 friends of his younger sister, his pastor's wife.
15 of his younger sister's friends?
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst big brother.
The wives of several ministers, including Minister Oburu, his own little brother's wife, his uncle's pregnant wife.
Okay, but why would this exactly be news other than the fact that it's salacious?
Because he has 300 tapes that they found and seized.
Was it his workplace?
Yeah, because he was sleeping with women at work too. So they were trying to say he was using his position of power to sleep with the women at work.
Was he coercing these women into sleeping
That's
with
what they're
him?
going to say. That's what they're going to say. Even if they wanted to sleep with him, they're going to say that you used your power because they were underneath you to sleep with him.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy.
He was getting shit done.
Because, like, if all these women were consensually having sex with him, then this nigga just got good dick, and he a freak, and that has nothing to do with his job. Did he do fraud?
So there's a picture, right, of him and the people he worked with, and they have 6 of the 8 women that he slept with. He's in a picture with 4 of the women are standing next to him in the picture, and then there's other 2 at the end.
That's hilarious.
Sick nigga. And the pornos are out. Like, you can go online and see him fucking these women.
I think I'm okay.
No, I seen it. I had to do my investigations. You know, I had to keep it being. Shout out to that nigga though.
The type of investigations we got to do on this show is ridiculous.
It is, but shout out to that nigga though. I think that's a crazy story. I hope that, you know, he didn't do nothing nefarious, and if he does the DNA, I know people were looking for to see the test was gonna come out if he had like STDs or anything like that.
Okay,
people want to see that. I didn't find the
you
results.
You said
for
DNA.
that.
I was like,
I did say DNA. Pregnant? I think some women did get pregnant. There was an allegation. I don't believe this part. They did say somebody killed themselves when they found out the information got out. One of the people who were part of the tapes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I don't know about that. But we have to talk about West African politics because
it's crazy.
Y'all
over there.
Niggas are sick.
They be like brawling in the parliament.
Like, I thought those movies, because my mom used to watch those little West African movies and shit. I thought that was just like y'all trying to pretend to be American. But like, as I continue to consume African content on a regular basis, like, y'all niggas are just your own brand of sicko.
Everyone is their own brand of sicko.
But this is different. Like, no, some countries copy us like Koreans and shit or the Japanese. They'll see our stuff and then just try to make a Japanese rap or a Japanese pop or a Korean pop or whatever. They'll just copy our shit and then do it. These niggas are their own brand of sicko. Like, I'm talking about, there were people who were having comments about this saying, oh, that's why you have to watch the women at work because they will go after your man. And I'm like, no, they didn't. This nigga was the aggressor. He wanted every piece of pussy he could get his hand on.
Yeah.
Like, there was no question about that. Like,
obviously there was no question about that.
West Africa is like the 1950s of America, young. Like, real shit. Maybe in the 20s. Like, them niggas left just an outdated ideology.
We clipping that.
Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know, but we'll see.
I'm just saying, yo, that shit was crazy for bro to be getting that shit off like that. And then did we say his name? Balsakar Ediganga.
Okay. We didn't say it before, but
that's a sick nigga right there, dog.
Yeah.
Sick, the sickest hombre all time. Shout out to you though. Hopefully you didn't do nothing wrong, nefarious. You had all consenting women. That's a lot of women to consent.
But
like, okay, so let's get into that. What do you think that they thought was about to happen? Because it's not like he slept with folks that like they worked for his husband. These was like family relationships. Like, do you think this nigga was tricking all of them, or?
I don't even know. Like, he's not good looking. Is he rich?
He's in the financial sector. Of
maybe
the country.
Maybe he was breaking them off. Like, maybe he was just sugar daddying.
I ain't gonna lie.
Sugar daddying all of these women.
I seen some of the women. Some of them was hurt. There was some hurt women in there, but there was some eye ones too. Complying, consenting to the film. Camera sitting there, tripod, probably like 2 feet over. Got her bent over on the desk going crazy.
Why did you record it?
He recorded everything.
Like,
that nigga didn't want to miss a beat.
He was a serial fucker. He wanted trophies of his conquests.
It's crazy. He got one like he eating the box and everything. Like, this nigga nut. And that's what I'm saying. West African nigga eating the box. This nigga going crazy. Who is this nigga? They usually don't do that. Trying to tell you, man. Like, look at just files of it, dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yo. Like, Bruddy was getting it in. Like,
That's
this was
crazy.
no joke.
And all of them are up?
I mean, a lot of them are.
I
saw like 3 different women. I saw 3 different women.
That's unfortunate.
He had one woman that was like,
involved.
he had one of them was like, yo, this was like kind of like one of those romantic comedy movies or like romantic movies where he had her on the sundress on. She's on top of the desk with her legs open and stuff like that. He's looking at the camera.
Ew.
I'm like, yo, this is wild behavior, young. Like, he's looking at himself in the future. Like, that's what he looked like he was doing. Like, I know who's gonna watch this, and it's me, and I'm looking at you, nigga.
Well, now millions of people on Twitter are watching it. So.
Oh man, what if he was like creating like a catalog so that he got like a porn career? Like, he was going to abandon his family and start a porn career.
I mean, if you already have 300 videos, how many do you need before you start the career?
Sometimes you just want to make sure you got enough, you know?
Like, porn is some of the easiest content to make.
Sometimes you got to make sure you got enough. Let's see. You want to just get into the space updates, or do you want to react to these little dating clips that I had?
What dating clips?
It was like a girl talking about how she went on the date and then the guy left her.
Oh, no. I never want to talk about stuff like that. Let's move on to the spaces.
Okay. Because, you know, that's my move. I would dip out. Used to dip out on the birds. That was annoying.
Yeah, we know.
Right out the back, baby girl. All right. So Spaces update, man. I had a very interesting week in Spaces myself. So this is more on what happened with me. So you think I'm weird? Do you think I'm weird?
For what exactly? We need more context.
Okay. So recently, I was just making fun. We were basically talking about J1 and, you know, see if he was a street nigga or not, and we were just asking particular questions. So I'm gonna tell you exactly where my thought process was going. I like to
really quickly, based off from what I know of J1, you're Jadakiss' son. How were you a street nigga when you grew up rich? Let's continue.
Well, like I said, he said that it wasn't like that, but this is what my mind came from. So I'm thinking to myself,
not your daddy broke.
What would be a funny? My mind was, what would be a funny video? Because you know how I like to take movie clips and repurpose it and put our names and stuff. So I wanted to do you went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. And I was going to put J1's face over the guy who was rapping and either put my face or Danny's face over the dude who over B Rabbit to be funny. And I was going to put it in. So I was looking at what high school did he go to? So I just typed in the high school to see if it was a private school, and his resume came up from LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm,
so
it's public.
So I went to LinkedIn and I clicked on it. And I seen the whole resume. So I screenshotted the resume. And my first thought was, let me just put it in Danny's Discord and we can all just laugh about it. But then I was like, someone's going to post it and they're going to get engagement from it. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to post it. But I'm going to do it subtle. So my man Ski, who has a private page, was talking about it. And I went under his page and said, hey, he said he a street nigga, but this don't look like the resume of a street nigga. And we started laughing about that. Later on in the day, other people start to see it. I think we talk about it on a space, just making jokes. Because one of the funniest parts about it says on his resume, he was a personal shopper for Tyler Perry. Again, street niggas can have resumes, but can they be personal shoppers for Tyler Perry? I don't make that determination.
I don't think so.
I don't make that determination at all. But we came back to it, and there were some ladies who, you know, remember that space we talked about last time? They hosted that space for them. They came and started G-checking me about it, calling me weird and saying I'm a loser and I don't get pussy and all that other stuff. Not seeing that I'm married to a 10 out of a 10 woman, and who thought it was actually really funny what I did. But they started coming, and then J1 enters the room. Now I played this really good. I was doing other shit while y'all were talking. I really wasn't listening to y'all. So when I come back, I see that he's in the room. Get my mic set up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They say, oh, nah, tell J1 what? I'm like, what do you mean? I don't. There's nothing for me to tell him. So then he comes up, he asks me about the post, asks me why I did it. First he tells me he doesn't care, but then he asks me why I did it. So in my response, I don't like to talk to people about things they don't care about. So I say, why are we talking about it if you don't care? It's very simple. If you don't care, don't ask me about it. So eventually he shows that he does care.
Obviously, he cares very much.
And he wants a question. And I told him it was public information, and all I did was just repost it from one site to another. You know, if you don't want your information out there, you probably should remove it from that site then. But, and again, if he would have just asked me, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this, can you please take it off? I would have did that. But you got to talk to me like a man. You can't just sit here and yap around and try to call me weird and lame and then try to make expletives about my wife. Like, that's not going to fly. That's definitely not going to get it deleted.
He said, I wanted to fuck him. He said, your wife probably want to
masturbate.
I thought you were 12 when you popped up on Joe Budden podcast. I was like, oh my God, this little boy, he's so mature for all of his
6 years on this planet.
Yeah, I was like, how old is he? He looks like he's like fresh out of high school. There was no part of any part of my being that was attracted to you whatsoever. You have a very youthful glimmer in your eye. You look younger than you are. So I assumed you were young as shit. You have a round face, very round features like your father. You have a baby little chubby cheeks, little chubby baby cheeks. You look fucking like a child. Why would I want to fuck a child?
He thought you were Glenn Maxwell.
Like, I don't know, but that's all I have to say about that.
So we end up having the conversation, and I guess he gets a little too rattled. He can't really keep his emotions together, so he has to call his bat signal. He put the OG symbol in the sky. Said, OG, come protect me. The OG came and talked to me, and me and him had a fabulous conversation.
OG took Frederick's side.
He was like, bro, niggas have time outside of their wives, bro. Like, niggas can do things outside of being with their wives,
Because J1 was like, oh, why you got time to blah, 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 blah. Like, we work full time, both of us. He has free time. I have free time.
And then the funny part was, I was like, brother, it took me no time to find this information. like y'all were talking to me like I was scouring the internet. Literally, it wasn't even a thumb swipe.
On the first page of the Google.
It wasn't even a thumb swipe. You know, and the school he went to was a private school too. The high school, Catholic school.
I went to Catholic school too.
But I'm just saying, it's just, that's not street school.
No, not even a little bit. Oh my God.
School.
There was one nigga first of all, when I went to Catholic school, there was one nigga who brought a box cutter to the school and then got expelled. Nigga, all of us come from families who have enough disposable income to spend $700 a month to send us to this stupid ass school. Why are you bringing a box cutter to the goddamn school? He's fine now.
No, I remember there's a girl when I went to private school in elementary and middle school. She got pregnant in middle school. Got kicked out of school.
Yeah. Bitch, you're a bad influence on all these other girls. I don't want them to think that they can be teen moms too. I'm kicking you out.
Nah, niggas used to see, like, she started showing, she had to get out.
Yeah.
Like, it was out of there.
Out with you, harlot.
But, Jesus Christ. But no, yeah. After that, after me and the OG had a conversation, I think he understood it was a joke. There was no malice behind it. And he was like, bro, you got to get over it. You went on. This is what he told J1. You got on that show. What do you think was going to happen? Like, niggas is going to talk about you. And if you got information out there, it's cool. And you know what's even funnier?
You need to make your things private.
I just also want to say this too.
Even old platforms that you don't use anymore, take them down or make them private. You're a public figure now. You can't fucking complain about people knowing things about you.
And I think this is actually kind of funny too, because if I'm weird for being on the internet looking up people, what is your boss?
You. All right, yo, if you a non-voter, well, it's over. After
it's over.
If you're listening to this,
some shit happened.
And all morning, I made my girl send me the New Jersey voter registration portal. Because if I know your real name and birthday all morning, I just been typing it in the portal.
Me too. I've been doing it since yesterday.
I'm sorry.
No bullshit.
I
found that shit out.
Sorry. Sorry, y'all. If I know your birthday, I don't care if we don't even talk. If I have your birthday, your name, full name, your prefix and all that, and the zip code where you grew up at, I've been typing your name in all morning. A lot of y'all ain't vote.
So I will say this. Reason why it sounds like that is so Quarter Labs can't get on our ass. So it's altered so that it doesn't sound like it's straight from the source.
Okay. I was like, why is he speaking like that? I don't know Joe to speak that slow.
So just that all goes to say, if I'm weird for being on the internet looking things up about people, so's the nigga that pays your check. So maybe you should get a little weird, nigga. Might help you.
That's what content creators do. We do weird shit.
But and also I had another space that was lot different. I just showed the range in the spaces that day. Because at first I had a space with Ian from Earn Your Leisure. Had a great conversation about black capitalism and things of that nature. I got a lot of my grievances off that I've had about the show.
Yeah, you don't like them niggas.
Yeah, I mean I don't like the idea.
Their rhetoric.
Yeah, I don't like the idea that
you don't know them, so there's no way you can't like them.
I don't like, and I explained it to him. I said my conflict with you guys is that y'all highlight black exceptionalism in a manner that is going to be black freedom, and then you don't highlight tangible things that black people could do to increase their own capital to be able to do some of the things that y'all discussed. And he agreed with me. He would say, "No, you're 100% right. I'm not. This is not about saving people."
Do they plan on pivoting to actually?
I don't know how serious he was with it because I did mention the unions, and he highlighted that a lot of unions are ran by white people and they try to highlight black things. So I was saying if I can get some black, union leaders and people like that to discuss with them, I would hope that he would, hear them out and try to have them on the show. So I'm gonna try to do that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You take constructive criticism from people who have consumed your content and you don't get defensive about it and you listen to them and then you implement the constructive criticism from the smart people who.
It was funny too because I never really brought it up too much just because it didn't feel like I didn't want to mess up the vibe of the room. So Danny tries to set it up and be like, well, nah, we got to wake it up, man. Absurd and has some crazy stuff to say about you on the stage. And it's time that we talk about it right now. And I was like, bro, he ain't trying to talk about that. I don't want to make it no weird. He's like, no, let's go. He was like, no, let's go. Let's talk about it. Let's bring it up. And he was very receptive.
That makes me respect him a lot.
100%. Same with me. He was very receptive. You know me, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna jump out with the disrespect.
Yeah.
But
sometimes we do though.
I don't think I'll ever jump out with the disrespect. I don't jump out with the disrespect. If I have a criticism and you take it as disrespect, that's your choice. That wasn't I was criticizing you, so that's what it is. But in this part, it was great conversation. He was really dope about his point of view on it. He's even gave credence like, bro, I've tried to discuss like what it has to look like for certain people, and the black elites don't want to hear it. Like we even talked about when Wayno, essentially cried on stage begging for people to, do what it would need to be taken to assist people in poverty conditions and things like that, and it went on deaf ears. And he acknowledged that too. He was just like, yeah, it's just a lot of that class, they have this fear that they don't want to go back or be associated with anything behind them. And so that's why they don't do what it needs to push people forward.
The only thing I have to say to that is that the elites are not the ones who are consuming your content on a regular basis, and they're not the ones putting money in your pocket. So,
I mean, he might dispute that.
They probably are, but I would think that I would hope that you would maybe feel some type of responsibility to give the people who are listening to you on a regular basis like the best instructions and information that you can give them. So I hopefully he takes that to heart, the conversation that you had with him, and hopefully they start implementing a couple like different things into like the advice that they give to Black people about finances and stuff like that. Because
even if it's not,
I don't like y'all. What's the word I'm looking for? Crafting your content around what elites want. Like I would prefer and I would hope, and what I want for all content creators to do is to make the content for the little regular everyday listener that is supporting you. Like that's who we should all be focusing on.
Yeah. I mean, but in the day, people want
money. Yeah. People want money.
That's where at the end of the day where it's going to come to that. And if we're not going to be able to negotiate and come together so that we can get these companies, because I even said this during our conversation, when that Vine shit happened, should have been the time we started the Creators Union. When Vine came out, when niggas were fighting for more money and they said, nah, fuck it, we just going to drop the whole site. That was when everybody should have been like, okay, no, we done. It's like, we need to get a Creators Union, whatever site we go to for the content, we'll have a ban of people.
TikTok took over. Like y'all could have just gave them niggas money. Like that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, even with TikTok's not paying out of directly, but you can get you know creator groups and stuff.
Yeah, if you have more than 10,000 followers, you apply to be in the creator fund and you make money off of each video that you make.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but even then, like I said, it's just still a lot of different processes, and that could have been a lot more seamless, and we could have been pushing forward to more autonomy in our crafts instead of having to do content that the companies want us to do. The companies would have purchased the content from us that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And if there would have been avenues to still be making money off your content. And then if you can exceed and those companies want to do more business with you, there could have been opportunities for that.
I'm about to go on a quick tangent. Were you done?
You go. Do you think?
The worst thing to survive out of Vine was King Bach. I
knew you was going to say that. As soon as I said Vine, I saw King Bach click in your head, and I said, oh, shit.
Ooh, I hate that nigga with a fiery passion. I have never even giggled. I have never cracked a smile. I haven't even done one of those, like, inside, like, nothing from his content. And now I think he's a part of Zeus, the downfall of the Black community. So I really feel like he should have died with Vine. I passionately feel that way. And I hate him with gusto. Not hate, because I actually don't know him, but what he brings into the zeitgeist and what he represents and the type of coonish behavior and the type of minstrel show that he puts on and he continues to put on with Black women now. Now you took yourself out of the spotlight being the dancey show nigga, and now you making Black women do it. I fucking hate you. And if I ever meet you, I will say these words to your face unless I'm at work.
All right, so that is the end of our potential Zeus deal that we'll ever get.
Fuck Zeus! Fuck Zeus!
So if Zeus,
fuck Zeus! We will never sign a contract with y'all.
If Zeus wanted to ever, hit us up and be like, "Hey, can you guys talk about our content?" They're not going to do it.
You gonna have to take Baddies and Jocelyn's Cabaret off the fucking stream. Take that off before we get on and put. Imagine if you can go on the same app and watch our content and Baddies. I will fucking kill myself. I will kill myself.
Oh my God. You good? You got it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel good.
I also want to say to y'all women out there,
I feel light.
Y'all need to stop hating on Jazzy. All right. That man is a Heisman champion, a NFL MVP. There's only been 7 men that have ever done that. She understands her role and her place.
Every time he comes into my boutique, he complains about the prices and then he leaves.
Because he's spending it on the family. Salute. He's spending it on the family.
This nigga won a Heisman and he don't want to buy luxury bags. All he want to do is fuck you, get you pregnant, embarrass you, and then talk about how he embarrassed you.
That's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. He was up there. Okay, now we got to play the clip because you want to be.
The fact that I have met this nigga multiple times and have had actual real life conversations with him.
So then the nigga is cool.
Corny!
He could be
He's corny. No, every time I've interacted with him, I was like, wow, I can't believe he's rich. He acts like such a bitch. A corny little bitch.
You can't believe the 6'6" nigga that just walked into the store is fucking rich. You don't see how
from after a conversation,
this nigga is?
And then his style too. This nigga be wearing hats with 17 feathers in them. We be talking about Kevin Gates. We need to start talking about Cam Newton.
I think they got the same. I think that
they have the same stylist. They go
has
to
to
the same the hatier. What do they call them?
Them little top hats he be having?
No, people who make hats.
You talking about the name of a?
Yes.
Oh, I have no clue what that is.
Millionaires, because Gabrielle Chanel was a millionaire before she started designing and all that stuff. I know that. That's why I knew there was a word for it. They go to the same millionaire for the same stupid ass hats. My dad asked me for one of them hats. I didn't fucking buy it.
It's funny
because you're not about to look like that.
In the clip where this discussion happened, him and Corey Holcomb, we both had them kind of little hats on too.
Yeah, because that's the I ain't shit nigga hat.
All right, so let's just play so people know what we're talking about.
You are not finna tell me you up here fucking one person. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that.
But
I got respect for you.
No, here.
But you didn't answer that for a reason.
This nigga got a pink houndstooth suit on.
Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm gonna answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother, and I promise you I won't bullshit with you.
Okay.
Corey's
How long
big.
are you talking about?
What you
That's
mean?
my answer.
Fucking one person.
What do you mean, how long I'm talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz, Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
I don't know your situation.
But I'm getting personal.
Right. I don't know your situation.
Since you want to take it there.
Corey's like, what are you doing?
Corey's like, I didn't need
You
you
feel like
to
I'm being
say this.
disrespectful? No. Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
He's like, no. Let me disrespect my bitch. I don't need you.
Okay, my thing is this. We need to. I've said this on the show before too.
No, not disrespect. Let me embarrass.
No, I'm saying this again. I've said this on the show too. She went on an interview and said this nigga almost exclusively likes anal. She started the embarrassment, my nigga. Like, don't fucking tell bitches that I like to put it in your butt.
About that. I'm gonna let you.
Don't
have that.
fucking
you ate
do
that. You ate that one little thing. You ate that.
I will forever embarrass you after you tell a woman on recorded record that I just exclusively like your asshole. Like, no, nigga, you're trying to call me gay.
Jazzy, I feel so bad for you, girl. I forgot about that. Like, there's nothing. All I feel is empathy for you. Like, this nigga cheating, he's embarrassing, and then he be fucking you in the ass all the time. You can barely walk. Now you're pregnant. She is uncomfortable physically on a regular basis.
All I'm saying is,
oh my God.
I believe they love language partly is quote unquote embarrassing each other. I think that's a part of their love language.
Bro, he a couple months ago was like, I haven't even come close to finding my wife yet. You have somebody pregnant currently.
And she holding it down. She gonna hold it down.
I would have literally saw that and just curled up into a ball and started crying.
You gotta,
because what else can you do?
We're not talking about a nigga who just played in the NFL. We're not talking about a nigga who was good for a little bit. This nigga got the Heisman Trophy. And the NFL, there were 7 men that have done that, okay? 2 in my lifetime I've seen, okay? 3, I seen Barry Sanders, and this is when I was a kid, get the MVP to get his too. I didn't see when he won the Heisman. I saw Lamar Jackson.
Jazzy needs to get on Instagram and just like record a video of herself saying, but he got the Heisman on her story, and that's it. But he has a Heisman, apparently, since that means so goddamn much.
I didn't say just a Heisman and an NFL MVP.
Okay, he has a Heisman and an NFL MVP.
Again, Jazzy, anytime
I'm getting embarrassed by an extraordinary nigga.
Jazzy, anytime one of these
dumb bitch,
one of these broke bitches are upset at you, all you need to do is hit the Heisman on that hoe, okay?
Bitch, you didn't get no Heisman.
Her man did.
That's not even your husband.
She got Heisman nut. Wake it up. Put some people. Hey, my thing is this: if a nigga who did something that exceptional don't got the kind of access like that, then nobody's ever going to get it. Jesus Christ.
I agree with that. I do not disagree with Cam Newton is at a point in his life where he's probably able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I'm still going to judge the women. I'm still going to judge the women. And then it's just the fact, if she was just like quietly getting embarrassed, that would be one thing. But she be going on interviews talking about how much she loves him and how attentive she is to him on a regular basis too. Like, just get embarrassed silently.
You don't think that's part of the joke? To me, that always comes off as that's part of her shtick. Like, she's saying this crazy stuff and acting hyper feminine and hyper submissive as a joke.
And then her content before she met him was completely the opposite. Like, fuck that nigga.
That's why I think it's all part of. I think it's just all part of a bit.
Yeah. It was. She was a comedian.
She still is.
I never. No, she's not.
Yeah, she's literally on stage right now
She's
doing
not
jokes.
as funny
with
anymore.
pregnant. Oh well, that's different. Stability makes you not funny
but
anymore.
also, I was gonna say I never enjoyed her content that much to begin with. I didn't think she was super funny. I still don't think she's super funny. But yeah, her content was like fuck that nigga, like single girl content, like comedian shit before, and now she's doing like the pick me, I dote on my man content, which is a choice.
more of it. Continue to do it.
It's a choice.
Next time you cough, fair, cough that way, okay? So because the sound goes onto my mic, so stop it. But see, there we got to end the show now. She onto the ignorance. Starting with the ignorance, young. All right, there's anything else you want to talk about? I think we got everything. We talked about Quincy. Yeah, we did talk about Quincy Day. So life is a labor of love. So let's build these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should be exploiting is these corporations. Talk FNF TV. Tell them what to do.
Follow us on all of the social media at talk.fnf.tv, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. Like a comment if you agree or disagree or feel strongly about anything. And bye. Good luck, guys.